There's a couple of lumps in there, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. What I've got here is a silicone baking mould. Now this side's got a textured surface. This one's pretty much smooth with a slight lip around the edge. Now I'm hoping that this will have enough surface tension, enough viscosity to make a single layer and not spill everywhere. I was going to put this onto a tray, but all my trays I've got a slight bow in them, so it's going to have to go straight on here, and I'm just going to have to be a little bit careful about how much I pour. So I'm going to add a wee bit of colour. As this being grass, I do actually want it green. So I've got a fairly bright neonish green here and what they've called a blackish green. So I'm going to do a little bit of this one and then, I don't need that much, and blend in the other. That's a nice colour. Now here kind of comes the moment of truth. So can I pour this in a small enough, thin enough layer, start in the middle. You see it's mounding up slightly and holding its own surface. So I think that's where I want it to be. Okay, that's most of that. So grab another spoon, take a wee bit of this darker one. It won't work whilst this is still wet. And then pour this one over the top and kind of swirl it through. I'm not too concerned about making this look pretty at this point. Just want a piece of green. So that is maybe 2 or 3 mil thick. I know I've got a lump of unmelted just there, but that should be fine. And I hope that's going to be enough for what I want to do. So I'm going to let my little puddle set until it's just set on the surface. It's almost there. It won't take very long. And then I'm going to put, actually, I think I'll be out there. Actually, I don't want this to be absolutely flat. So I'm going to grab a couple of spoons and work in some waves like that. Ideally, so have a bit more movement to it. Okay, so I've melted down a little bit more melt and pour, a little warm. And I've cut my slabs. So most of these I cut in strips and then cut them on an angle, so they've got kind of a beveled edge to them, a bit more grass-like. And I'm going to do 2 small ones, and I've cut all of these with a slight angle as well, so I can stand them up and they'll look like grass in a flat. So I've got a couple of these which were kind of the end bits, which I've left as is because they've got a real nice natural shape to them. So I'm going to add a wee bit of both greens, I think. Both to add to the base colour. Don't want very much. This stuff does go quite a long way. If I was being particular about it, I'd do a brown and then a green, but doesn't need to be absolutely accurate. And now I'm going to put, where are you? You can't see there, so I'll put, bring you in a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put a thin layer across the bottom of my loaf mould. I think I'm going to need to mix some more, or to melt some more for the little ones, not a problem. Just make sure that's covering the whole of the bottom. And then I'm going to start sticking these into place. I'm not really too concerned about where they go, as long as I've got a selection of different heights. Put the monster in. I'm going to work quickish before this stuff starts to really set up. Move on the end here. Over here. So, a couple of spaces that need filling. Here. And that's it, the melting pool's already set. So I've got a layer of grass essentially sitting in there. So I'm going to put that one to one side. And I don't think I'm going to need very many of these for this. Okay, so this is my soap recipe, my soap. 1, 2, 3. So this is my milk soap recipe and I'm using soy milk. And before I put in the lye, I'm going to stick in a decent amount of blue. So I want to give this a nice kind of sky blue colour. So I'm just going to gently blend it with the spatula to start with. And then I'll get my blender in. This soap turns out quite a nice pale colour, even with the soya. Soya kind of gives it more of a yellow tint, I found. But this is a fairly strong blue, so hopefully I should get the best of both worlds. And actually I don't think I need to blend that in. That'll do for the moment. So that is my oils. This recipe is already up online on the blog. I've probably got a reminder for it somewhere as well. So, I'll put you over there for a minute. Everything else is ready to go. So, this is my lime milk mixed with soy milk, and that was frozen soy milk. And I'll just double check before I put this in one last time. 33, 36, so we're definitely within 5 degrees. So this soap, milk soap, doesn't accelerate as far as I'm aware, unless you add serious amounts of sugar to it, or the wrong kind of fragrance. So this has been quite a trusty recipe and one that I'll fall back on quite a lot, I think. So, here we go. As usual, I'm not doing long bursts of blending because this is a very cheap blender. So 10-15 seconds and then stir it with the blender. I don't want to go too far. I want to get this just to emulsification at this point. think it's going to lighten up a little bit, but I think I want to add a little bit of white, just in case. So I've got a bit of what they call silver white. I'll just lighten this colour a little bit. Don't have any serious oils around the top. Okay, one last bit. Right, so my fragrance oil. This is it's called cut grass, and it smells like cut grass. It's really quite potent, and I'm getting sympathetic hay fever just sniffing it. So I'm going to drop that in and give this a quick whiz. Right, that's all I want. Wow, that is potent. So, I'm just going to give this a good scrape down. Nice and smooth. It's only just come to emulsification, not quite trace yet, which is good. I'm going to add some flowers. I was tempted to try and make some flowers to go into the mould, but I'm not quite that patient with things. So I've got here some marigold, some blue cornflower, some rose petal and a little bit of lavender. So I'm going to leave some of this behind so I can stick it over the top. And just stir this in. This is going to leave lots of little bits and pieces in the soap, which should look nice when it's cut. And I think, what the hell? So I'm just going to give that a quick mix in, get it off my spatula. So you've got kind of a speckled design in here. And just got a tray. So, the start of my little ones, I don't know if you saw that, but I used the same sort of idea as with the log, with the big mould. A little bit of melted point in the back and just stand up my bits of grass, and then I've got this one here that's all set and stable. So I'm just going to ladle a little bit into these two and then pour the rest into the slab. Okay, I want to keep this quite liquid so that it will form around my bits of grass. I think I'm just going to slowly pour with a ladle rather than chucking it all in. That way I know it's actually getting into the layers. You can see it's starting to thicken up just slightly as it's sitting here, which is good. I just need to make sure that it's thin enough at this stage to get in between the bits of grass. Now taking to pouring these on a tray, as it saves on clearing up, as I only have one surface to clear up, I don't have to then clear up the top and the tray and everything else. So, I might not even have enough to touch this top bit of grass. We shall see. I think I'm just about going to cover that. Okay, scrape you off. So I'm going to give the bowl a good scrape round. I think I've said before, soap making, you really do need some good spatulas, good silicone spatulas. One, because they wash off easily, and two, you can get into all the corners and you can scrape your bowls virtually clean. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a bit of a shake to level it out. Okay. So all of these soapy bits can go into the big bowl, again to stop any drips or anything. Okay, and as I've used up the flowers I had, I'm going to grab some more. Just going to, oh, that's a bit much. Sprinkle a little bit. That's marigolds. Bit of cornflower. Make sure that every bar gets a bit. Should we put some in here as well? A little sprinkle of lavender. They've got a great scent, but they don't look particularly interesting. And then a little bit of rose. Okay, let's make sure these bags are all properly sealed. They're dry flour, and you want them to stay that way. And I'll give these a quick spray of some alcohol. Okay, and they need to sit for probably about 24 to 72 hours. I'm going away this weekend, so they're probably going to have about 4 days. So they're guaranteed to be set by the time I get around to unmoulding. So my April soap of the month has sat for a good 3 days now, so if it's not set by now it never will be. So I'm just going to remove the small ones from these moulds. And I've got a little bit of kind of edge and bleed over here, which isn't a problem. least the front is. So I'm going to stick them in my rack, and I'm actually putting all of the odd bits that I can rescue into a pot. So these are all the trimmings from the previous batches as well. Because at some point I want to do a fireworks design, and I've seen where I think it was Katie Carson did one that used a black base and then lots of bits and pieces of trimmings and stuff to make kind of a starburst pattern. So that's the plan. So there's that one done. Now let's take out the loaf. So I've lost some of the bits of flowers from the top. That should be okay. I'm just going to ease off the silicone, flip this over, and hopefully easy out the soap. Or maybe not. It's still slightly soft, so I don't really want to bend back the silicone, but I think I might have to get this out. Okay. So I've got a nice clean bottom here. That's the melt and pour. Sides are still a touch squidgy, and I didn't quite get the soap down besides the melt and pour all the way down, so I've got a little bit of gappage. Right, so I've got my little cutting thing here, so I'm just going to set the guide about an inch. Should be about right. Lay this in on its side. I don't really want to be knocking off any more of the flowers than I have to. And I'm not going to use the cutter that came with the thing, because it's quite a wide piece of metal, but it's not sharp. There's no cut here, and I'm concerned that trying to cut through all the flowers, I'm just going to drag them down. So, trading up to a knife. Now this is serrated, so it's going to leave a bit of an edge, but hopefully it will cut through cleanly using the guide like this. Slow and steady, because remember I've got those melt and pour bits in there. They will cut at a different rate to the soap. So let's have a look see. Haha! A little bit messy, I've got a bit of drag, not that much. There you do, I have a little patch of grass with some flowers on top. That's pretty much what I was going for. So I'm going to carry on cutting these, and that is this month's Soap of the Month completed. I'll see you again next week. If you're free, can you come and turn this camera on?